This morning, we're headed to the salon. I just wanted to come in and share that 10 years ago, I was failing in college. 10 years ago, I was, I think, sitting in a science class, could have been biology or something, and I was failing in probably like three or five of my classes. I wasn't going to class. I wasn't completing assignments, and me and my mom weren't in a good space. My mom is a retired military woman in the Army. She was actually a drill sergeant when I first began to live with her at the age of 13. Good morning, Miss Inga. And so my mom likes to exert her parenting in a very militant kind of way. And even in my early 20s, when I was in college, she also tried to, make sure, she was trying to show me which way to go in, but I was trying to go in my own direction. And at the time, I didn't know that I had ADHD. If you're new here, welcome, come on in. My name is Jamila Evans, and I'm driving through the boonies. So if the internet gets a little shaky, my voice should still be clear, but the image may be a little unclear from time to time. But so 10 years ago, I'm sitting in this classroom and I'm failing at Fayetteville State University. And my mom and I weren't in a good space, and I said, you know what, you're about to be grown. I had been waitressing for a few years, and I would continue on to waitress throughout the rest of my college career. And I said, I got to figure out a way to take care of myself that won't feel like pulling teeth, that won't feel like I don't want to be here, which is how I kind of felt with school. I did great K through 12. I was an honor student. I had straight A's at one point in time, always A, B honor roll. Maybe had one C, like grade when I made straight A's. And so I said, you know what? I didn't know the importance. So if you're watching this and you're a college student, please withdraw from your classes. I didn't know anything about withdrawing, so I just stopped going to my university classes. And I went to the nearest Paul Mitchell here in our city, and I signed up for school. At the time, they didn't have a slot for me. They didn't have a slot, but she put me on the waiting list. And I think it maybe was like March, maybe February, March time frame. And the next class was to start in May or something to that effect. And so she called me maybe a few weeks later. She said, hey, you really made a great impression on us here, and we had a slot open up. I'm sure there were plenty of other people on that waiting list. I'm pretty sure that she could have called a slew of people who wanted to get into that school, but I went in there, I put my best foot forward, and I've always shown up ready to go. I've always come prepared, whether it be a cover letter, a resume, to like a restaurant job. I would come with a resume, okay? I would come dressed. I would come, fresh and clean. So she said, we have a slot, and good morning, y'all. We have a slot, and we would love to have you. And I didn't withdraw. So if you're a college student, you plan on, taking a semester off, withdraw. But I just stopped going to my university classes, and I started to attend care school at Paul Mitchell, and I was so excited. Y'all won't understand how excited I was. I was like, this is for me, this is God, this is whatever. And so fast forward that it was a year, so it's a 1,500 credit hours to get your cosmetology license. There are other licenses that you can get, but the cosmetology license allows you to pretty much do all things underneath the beauty spectrum, whether it be facials, nails, massages, so on and so forth. So in that time frame, I was online dating back then, right? And I ended up bumping into when I say my puppy love crush, like my grade school crush. So I went to daycare with this guy, right? If y'all don't know anything about me, I left. I'm here in North Carolina. I left North Carolina back to living with my mom when I started living with my mom. And so me and this guy went to daycare K through 5, but I went one direction and he went another direction. And because I knew him growing up, and because I, assumed we had similar, directions in life, we fell, back into an old space. And so I'm in hair school. I've done dropped out of college. I meet this what I would consider a fairy tale, because I'm a hopeless romantic, and I'm like, well, if this is the first boy I ever kissed back on the playground, then maybe it's meant for me to be with him, right? This man, oh child, the stories I could tell off of this man. Good morning. The stories I could tell off of this story. I ended up, fast forward, still in hair school, because it took a year to get it. I had to take this man to court, okay? I had to go through some things with him, and through it all, I still was just so happy that I was, following my passion and my purpose. And hair school was tough for me to get through. I still had to, so hair school was 40 hours a week. I was still leaving out of there 3 nights out of the week and going and working at a restaurant. And so I pushed through, and I earned that cosmetology degree. And so when people don't take the beauty industry serious, or when people are out here playing around and scamming people, and they don't have no passion for caring and servicing women with their hair, that just eats me up. It pisses me off, because y'all, I went through some things during that year of school. And so fast forward 10 years later, so that was 10 years ago. I was in my early 20s. I'm 34 now. And man, my hair career, I did end up finishing school. So I had 3 more semesters at the university to finish up my accounting degree. I went on to meet my husband 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, in Jamaica. We made it through the pandemic together, moved him here right before the pandemic, made it through that, opened a salon, closed the salon, found out we were having twins, and I grew so much over the past 10 years, and there was a lot of failing, okay? Me dropping out of school, dropping out of college, that was, at the time, failing. Full circle moment, it makes me relatable. There's so many people who don't finish school. There's so many people who went to school because it seemed like the obvious choice. They were great students in high school, and so everybody pushed them and was like, yeah, that's what you do. But my mom, when I was a child, my mom hadn't gone to college. My mom had since gotten her degree, but at the time she hadn't had her degree. So I really was kind of like a first generation, besides like my aunt. So I say all this to say that, when you're young, get in as much as you can. Live as much life as you can, but do it safely. Do it within a certain risk limit, okay? Because I did some risky things back then, and I literally was just on the edge of ruining my life a few times, between bad relationships, just to be transparent, pregnancies, just dropping out of school, losing my scholarship, quitting jobs hastily, taking on debt, student debt that's still in my face today, which of course a lot of Americans can understand. So I would say that you can still do what you got to do. You still can make it where your head is. You can still enjoy life. You can still be happy about today, regardless of what has happened in your past. I like to share my life publicly. I like to tell you all what I'm going through, because a lot of people are going through in silence, which was what my last live is about. If you go back and watch the live where I said I almost got attacked, I was talking about going through. And so life can be easy, or life can give you its ass to kiss. And through it all, as long as you remain grateful for the life that you live, I promise you things will come your way. Opportunities will pop out of thin air. You'd be like, how in the hell? Right in your inbox, right in your phone, on your phone. I've had, just off the top of my head, I can think about the mayor of the neighboring city, the mayor of Spring Lake, calling me to host a show the day before a show. What? Ma'am, I don't think I want to host. I don't think I'm prepared. But I did it. I was shaking in my boots, but it was an amazing experience. I had a great time. And fast forward to August, when I'll be headed down to New Orleans to talk at Bronner Brothers. If I didn't stand on that stage that day, if I had shrunk and been fearful of the opportunity to speak in front of over 100 people, I wouldn't have the reps, I wouldn't have the exercise to go and stand on bigger stages. So it's something I asked for. They say be careful what you ask for. I asked to have opportunities. I asked to be a speaker. I want to be a speaker. But when the speaking engagements came, I was just like, overthinking, underpreparing, procrastination, all of those things led to my anxiety. But you know, that worked out for me. And then another opportunity I can think of that, you know, I mean, it's just so many. Even the going to the Bronner Brothers, this random stylist, she's not random, but a stylist I've never met. She lives in Texas. She asked me if I wanted to go teach a class with her at Bronner Brothers in my inbox. Good morning. So I was like, sure. She thought I was gonna say no. I was like, girl, no. At this point, I do not stray away from whatever the universe is potentially wanting for me, because it's the things I want for myself. I just don't know what they look like until they happen. Oh, the other opportunity is the salon space that I'm in. I had just had the boys, was coming back from maternity leave. The boys were about 18 months. I stayed home for 18 months with the boys. They didn't go to a preschool until that age, and then for a small period of time I worked from home. But that wasn't giving the experience that I wanted for my clients. My clients was just happy to get their hair done, but I was hearing the kids in the back. My aunt was asking me what to do with the kids, how to mix the formula, and I was stressed out doing hair. And at the end of the day, me doing hair is also relaxing and healing and nourishing for me. So I found a salon space to go into. That was in December. I worked there one day. I paid a full month of rent and worked there one day. I said, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I can't do this right now. And that's when I ended up doing the home salon. And then I finally found a suite. It's really hard to find suites with the shampoo bowls inside. Like, there's tons of suites, but the shampoo bowls are like kind of shared, which was the case at that salon that I worked at for a day. And so as I get into the salon where the suites are at, but the suite is not available, so I just end up working on the floor for a little while. And then I finally get the suite together. The salon owner actually moved out of her suite and allowed me to have her suite. And as I'm getting comfortable and starting to get new furniture, because I got rid of everything that was in the 6-chair salon from the pandemic, I'm getting all my furniture together, and in my inbox, right in my Instagram messages, the owner of the space that I'm in currently, the green salon with the green chairs, was like in the high ceiling. She was like, you know, I'm about to move back to Houston. Would you like my salon space? You're the first person I thought about. Do you want it? Girl, yes. I know what these salon spaces in Fayetteville look like, and I know how amazing your salon space looks. I am coming right now. Right now. I gave the 30 days notice. Again, I try to be as professional as possible. Good morning. I try to be professional as possible. I always try to keep my relationships kosher. I don't want to burn bridges. Now, some bridges need to be burnt. Okay, some people need the middle finger, and I mean a big one. But there was no ill will. And that's also why I paid that month full of rent at that first space where I only worked a day. Sure, I could have been like, ma'am, I have newborn kids. I need, you know, this money. But I had already signed a contract, so I honored my contract. Although there were some things that we could talk about, some things with that too. But anyway, I just want to encourage you today that success looks one way online, and it looks a totally different way when you hear people's story. And my story isn't crazy unique. I don't feel like I'm super special, but I did have what I would like to consider a normal upbringing. But I was defiant. I was rebellious. I didn't have a strong relationship with my mom and my dad. Child, we could go on about my dad, but needless to say, I didn't feel supported, and I felt like I needed to figure out who I was in my early 20s, and I'm really still just now figuring it out all together since I've been married. And yeah, so 10 years ago, I was in hair school. I dropped out of college. Y'all just coming in. My name is Jamila Evans. Hey, y'all. But I dropped out of school to go to hair school, and it changed my life. So sometimes you have to do the hard things. Sometimes you have to do the things that no one else understand. They probably would tell you not to do it. They'll be like, girl, that's not a good choice. But if you know it's a good choice for you and you know that you don't like how you're feeling doing what you're doing currently, and you need a reset, you need a new direction, you realize that you're about to go down a path that's not going to look good, and you need to halt and pivot in that moment, do it. Because I was failing. Okay, I was sitting in the class when I think my teacher maybe gave me back a paper or something like that, and I remember getting it, and maybe I didn't turn it in on time, or maybe I did it like last minute and I just got a terrible grade, and I was like, oh no, Jamila, you're not doing college well. You're just not. And your mom is cutting you off left and right if you don't do her way, and you don't want to listen to her, and you got to get from underneath her grip. Well, let's go ahead and go to hair school. So hair school changed my life. It was one of the most stressful years of my life as well, dealing with the crazy ex that I had to take to court. And 10 years later, I've learned so much. I've grown, I've expanded, and so I just want to encourage you all to just keep on going, y'all. So I'm about to go up into this hair store. I got some crochet braids to do. Child, if y'all know me, y'all know I don't do certain hairstyles, but my old clients who have been coming to me forever, who used to get I used to do Marley twist, sew-ins, wigs. I used to do all of that. So every now and again, if they're going on vacation, they might ask me to do some crochet braids. So I'm at the beauty supply store, keeping my clients happy. I hope y'all have a great day. If y'all are new here, please subscribe. My name is Jamila Evans. I am a curl educator, salon owner, mom of twins, a millennial wife, and I just have conversations about the things that I'm going through with my mental health, popping back from postpartum, being diagnosed with ADHD. And sometimes life is just a jumbled mess. And so I'm constantly picking my life back up and pressing forward, because I'm an ambitious person. And sometimes the way my brain works doesn't go with the goals that I have for myself, but I am dedicated to making those things come to fruition. So that is what you will get on this channel. If you're here for natural hair care, go find a hair video. There is so much knowledge in those videos. If you are dealing with dry, itchy, flaky scalp, brittle hair, look at one of them hair videos. The last few ones are very, very good. I would just off the top of my head, the first thing that you should do is deep cleanse your hair, wash your hair more. And then thank you so much, M. Dickens. And then if you are here for my mental health journey, my what I like to call Mila Motivates journey, you'll find those videos to be more like morning walk videos or in the car videos, where I'm just telling you all what's on my mind and coming with a word of encouragement that's just like real life. I don't feel like I'm no one special, but in a day and age where everybody is faking it till they making it, I am just telling you, child, I'm driving a Honda Accord, a 2015 Honda Accord, okay, that I paid off 3 years ago, that back then I knew that at some point in time I would pay it off and that I wouldn't want no car note. So things like that. Just now meeting with a wealth advisor, 10 years into business, even though I have an accounting degree, like there was anxiety around, you know, getting my affairs in order, get my skeletons out my closet, and showing that my business has been janky for some time. It may look good on the front end, but this is what it looks like on the back end. But today I'm willing to sort it all out, all the disarray that I have made over the years. So that's what y'all find here. I hope some of that resonated with y'all. If it did, child, hit the little subscribe button. I'm not gonna beg you, but I would love to have you. I hope that y'all have a great day, and until next time, bye y'all.